It's disgusting. It's like I need to be on Dr. Pimple Popper. You can't even see it, though. It's disgusting.
And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weekly Meltdown.
Are we?
Gotcha.
I was gonna say something, Allison, but I was like, Tyler did this on purpose, so I'll let you be mad at him.
Am I even on the air anymore?
Just a picture of your cat.
Yeah, you're just.
Oh no! Damn it! Why would you? Okay, well, you know, I got to go to the dermatologist Friday. I got a crazy greasy zit. I got to have looked at.
Beth, so we just started the show because Allison was talking about her popping her zit. And I was like, this is too good of a story for the public not to hear. So
very nice.
Hello everybody, welcome to my weekly Meltdown. Go ahead, Allison.
Oh, there's so much I want to say. I want to start the show with this big fat one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my weekly Meltdown's coverage of Allison's face and the challenge, episode 5, Double Agents. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to see everyone's mean face.
Everybody's mean face?
Everyone's
right
mean
now?
face. Like I'm CT and I want to see your mean face.
Matthew just looks like he was asleep.
It's because me. I don't have a mean face. I have an angry, on rage
That's
face.
dying. No. Yeah, there you go.
That's my mean face.
Well. This show started off awkwardly, so let's just keep the awkwardness going. Let me put my handwritten notes to the side. This is just great. I don't really know where to go from here. We have no one in the chat. There's just are we live? Are we really live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
I have the YouTube up just so
Well,
I can
listen,
moderate.
I'm also all sorts of tired. I led a 9-hour retreat today on Zoom. And so if I'm off tonight, people, it's literally just because I'm cameraed out at this point. But I so wanted to decompress my day by yelling at things rather than putting on a professional face. So
there you go. Well, if you need an outlet to yell at things, my weekly Meltdown is always the perfect home for that.
it's a perfect place. Now, listen, we've got a guest tonight, Matthew, who's usually our chat moderator. We don't have any freaking chat going on. Did I enable it again? Can somebody?
It's enabled here. I'll type in it.
Can say something. Somebody put
There.
something. But wait a minute. Hold on. No. There's
Is it
nothing.
not showing?
it takes a second from when somebody types in for it to show up on our thing. See, there it is. Well, but that's our test. That's
me.
That's you, but
There's something for me and Tyler in there. I can see it on the YouTube page, but I don't think it's showing up.
it's not showing here.
Well, we're so professional.
Oh, there it is. See, now it just showed up.
Well, it
I
shows
told you it takes a while for it to show up on our thingy.
What? Yo, hi, guys. Well, of course, when we're typing and showing up, I'm worried about the people in there.
No, Matt and Tyler are on the YouTube page.
Yeah, we went to the YouTube page
Yeah.
to type in the comments there.
There's a 30-second delay for it to show up.
Say here, I'll even help Allison even more.
I touched something. I feel like I touched something when I was setting it up. Can y'all just go behind me and look?
I think everything is okay. So go ahead.
Nobody cares tonight.
I
That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's you again, Matt. Excited.
I'm just getting everything to show that it's working for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen.
So you can stop freaking out.
F you, Tyler. That's all I got to say about that. So, listen, we catch up from episode 4 of Fessy is Messy, and he's paying the consequences, having words with Corey. And Corey's like, listen, you don't need to use the word friends because you don't know what that word means. You can't use it anymore. We're taking it back. There you go. And of course, Josh has got to think. Josh has to be involved in the drama. Am I wrong? Like, he's, even if it really doesn't concern him, yes, we all know you beg to go in, but nobody gives a shit. And you still have to bring it up because Spessy he's selfish AF. And I love how Josh abbreviates AF in this episode when he uses the F word like a comma. How courtesy of whatever.
Courteous.
I don't know. And while Josh is talking to Tori, trying to have a conversation, Devin just pops up, makes it all kinds of awkward, and they're like, just leave. So, that's going on.
Yeah.
Who would have known rookies would be so smart? I really think they casted, is that correct English? They casted the right people, the right.
Yep.
No, it's the cast.
Yeah, I would say it's cast.
They cast. Well, I'm going to say they casted. They casted the right rookies this season. The Itty Small Committee. And I can't spell committee, y'all. Y'all don't even want to see what I have written on this piece of paper. It's really bad. I even scratched it out and tried to do it again. Itty.
I was a member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee before
Girl,
I had
I was about to say, I'm still a member. I'm still a member of the Itty
Well,
Bitty
here's the
Titty
thing.
Committee.
I went ahead and said, how can I gain a little bit of boobage? And it was gain a little weight. But when you gain weight, it's like the last thing that gets added, and it's the first thing that gets taken away. It's very depressing.
I don't have that problem, girl. It goes to my ass. I mean, it goes directly to my ass. I've got a COVID ass, and I'm done with it. Okay. But yeah, I'm still in the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. It never, even when I was pregnant, I tried to nurse my son the first 6 weeks, and he's like, I can't fucking find it, Mom. I can't. Give me a bottle. I'm dying over here. Jesus. Okay, anyway.
Well, yes. So it appears like our chat is working. So I wanted to say hey to Valencia.
Taku.
I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Rory the Virgo. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Clearly this show.
Here, I'll pronounce the name for you. It's Yaoi Otaku.
Thank you.
Yaoi Otaku, Rory the Virgo, and Valencia Burns. And Adrian Celeste.
Yes.
What's up?
Okay, so I have a question for you guys. And it's about the elimination tonight. I kind of feel like maybe production tinkered with this a little bit. I really think that Tori is a lot stronger of a woman than to not be able to pull that cage. It just feels like it reeked of production interference a little bit, just to give Anissa this wow, it's her 10th win, what a don't sleep on Anissa, that whole narrative. What do you guys think about that?
I had that thought at first, but then I also thought, I don't know if it was production or the fact that little platform it was on looked like it was sunk a little bit more into the mud. So it could be just it just happened to sink into the mud without production really knowing or being able to fix it ahead of time. Because it definitely looked like, and I'm not trying to knock Anissa's strength there, but it definitely looked like one was easier to pull than the other. And I don't, it wasn't for a lack of Tori trying. And once she was able to get it to move, it moved fine.
Well, I'm going to disagree with all of you and say that Tori's ego bailed on her tonight and didn't want to help.
Can I offer in a third opinion?
So she couldn't get
it.
Yes.
I'll offer the in-between opinion. It's called weather, and sometimes weather just helps certain people's tracks. Because you've seen in other seasons, when it rains, sometimes someone else's half will move a little bit easier than the other person's half. I don't think production rigged it because I don't think they want to piss off Tori because people love Tori.
Oh, really? So people really love Tori?
I think Tori is a well-liked female character. I don't think they would go out of their way to piss
That's
her off.
really surprising to me as a first-time viewer because I can't stand her. So I'm really happy that she's left.
Yeah, I was going to say the edit really buried
I really
her
like
in particular
Anissa, so I'm happy she stayed.
I'm really surprised she can't handle heavy balls considering she was engaged to Jordan. You should be used to a big set of balls.
But
Heavy.
like the cage like wasn't even pulling like a little bit, you know, like it like wasn't moving at all. Beth's just like why I'm trying to have like a
Tyler, if you try to come to have a serious conversation about balls and pulling things,
you're on the
you're
wrong
in the
show.
place.
I don't know where to go from that.
Transition.
Why don't we go back to the beginning and we'll work our way there, and then we might have a place to go.
Where are we?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Let's go back to the beginning. So, Big T and CT. Okay, that's not good. That's all over the place. Anyway, the rookie girls have a conversation about, listen, they're counting us out. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say these rookie girls are not big girls. They're small.
Yeah.
They're either small.
They're Allison sized.
They're either Allison sized or they're tall and skinny. They're not like big. They're not who you would expect to be big competitors. The ones that were gone, they broke shit and had to leave. So they come up with this idea. Big T goes to CT about it. Listen, we got to get rid of Anissa and Tori. I want to put them against each other because one of them's got to go. Mm-hmm. And CT, being the supportive partner that he is like, yeah, I'll let you take the reins on this one. And we'll see what comes up. Because Devin feels like, I want to get rid of Tori, so he's already going to be on board no matter what. You don't even have to bring it up. He's so rogue. He's on another show. He's on Devin the Rogue Agent, mm-hmm. which comes, in sections on double agents. Yeah. So that's that own show, side note. But before the first challenge, TJ triggers a security breach because Natalie had to leave. Mm-hmm. And our thoughts and prayers go out to her. She was pregnant and suffered a miscarriage after she left the show. So God bless her and her family, to give a shout out to her. I was really upset. I was shocked when I was like, why is Natalie? This was me. I was like, why the fuck? What is happening right now? Why is Natalie leaving?
It was very poorly explained on the show. It made it seem like it was her fault or something, she lied to production.
No, I think it came off to me when I heard it as a family emergency.
Yeah,
that she just had to go.
Well,
and I think they wanted it. I think they wanted it when they knew it was because she was pregnant. They wanted it to be her explaining it, not them explaining it. Especially since they probably knew she had a miscarriage.
I think, she hadn't had the miscarriage yet.
When you edited the episode together.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I think that the what Tyler's getting at is more the setup. The setup to it felt very one of you broke the rules, and then it turned into Natalie's narrative, which kind of muddied the waters, but also made the waters clearer. You're like, oh, okay, clearly she didn't do something wrong. She just has to go take care of something, and you have to know it's pretty serious at that point, because I have a feeling, and this is what Allison said in our little group chat, and I feel like Jeff Probst, which is a show that I would watch with Survivor, would do the same thing, which is kind of give people a little bit of shit if they either cheated and get kicked out of the game, mm-hmm. do something like that. But the fact that TJ didn't kind of alluded to that. It was a pretty serious, probably family issue. So.
Yeah, and so like Adrian says, the rumor was that she left with a family emergency. So I had no idea. I went on Twitter and saw this US Magazine article where it basically explained that she missed her period while she was on the show, and she was on the phone with her sister joking about it, and production said, "Oh, we're gonna give you a pregnancy test," and then she found out she was pregnant. And she described in the article that this was the most awkward way to find out this news, and then to know that she had a miscarriage after is my heart really goes out to her. But the whole situation just kind of reminded me of Evil Dick's departure in Big Brother 13 in terms of the way they didn't explain it, which I understand why, out of their privacy, but just the way that they presented the news was very hush hush, and I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just felt weird, if
it almost draws too much attention to it. Obviously you have to highlight it, but it causes a lot of wait, what happened questions, and it rather than just kind of saying so-and-so had a family emergency and they had to go. Like if
Yeah.
you said that, then it's like, okay, we can kind of let that be. And of course, people are going to be curious to say, like, I wonder what happened. But here we are going, okay, she has to take care of some things. Are some things like family members? Are some things that are going on with her? Did her house burn down? Like, like you just kind of go through all these different things.
It could have been anything. Her cat could have been sick. I mean, if it were me, it would have been my cat. Something happened to Finley. I have to leave immediately. But fun fact, sorry.
I'm sorry. Finley would be in the competition before you, though.
Finley
So I'm sorry about it.
America's favorite.
Right, that's right. But listen, here's the thing. Last season, help me out in the chat, or if you guys know, last season on the challenge, one of the British young ladies, I can't remember her name.
I think it's Melissa.
Melissa, thank you, Matthew. 4 months pregnant, didn't know it while playing last season on the
final.
Wow.
She was in the final
and quit because she was getting really, really sick. Her body was giving out, and she didn't know she was pregnant. Once again, here we go with I've watched the show. I didn't know I was pregnant. When you take a shit and a baby comes out. Listen, I don't know how. I knew
really strong reaction.
Best face is everything to me right now.
I can't understand. That's a big bowel movement. If you don't know, okay. I've had bowel movements where I thought my asshole's going to split open, but I knew a baby wouldn't come out of my butt. Okay, because the babies don't come out your butt; they come out of that. But anyway, Melissa had a baby. 4 months pregnant. But anyway, I just thought that was crazy. I remembered that. And I only knew that because I watched the reunion special months after.
Was her baby okay? Because I have to imagine with quite physical challenges and everything, that could be pretty dangerous.
Healthy baby. I mean, she never revealed the sex or name or anything.
That's okay, as long as it was healthy.
Yeah, baby's fine. And,
was she drinking alcohol like during filming?
She was doing everything you would do if you
in the first trimester is the worst time. Is to
listen, hey, I grew up. I'm 43 years old. Listen, my mom and her friends were drinking wine and chain smoking. I turned out okay.
Okay, my favorite story is that my grandma, I have two, they're both about my grandmother. My grandmother had Parkinson's when she was in her older age and such. And one of her doctor's appointments, she was with my mom, and they were trying to go through the diagnosis, and they asked her, it's like, were you ever a smoker? And she said, oh, yeah. My mom goes, oh, I never knew you were a smoker. And she said, yeah, I quit the day you were born.
The day you were born.
The day you were born. By the way, my mom was the third child. So the day she was born, 3 children later. Also, the fourth child comes along, my uncle, and she fully was like getting drunk and having a party at her house, and like they were literally hosting a little party, and they went, well, my water broke, I gotta go to the hospital. And then I'm pretty sure my grandfather just drove her to the hospital. That is the greatest generation for you.
It's the greatest generation. I can't get enough of these stories. We could do a whole show on this. And I just want to say in the chat, Carrie Ann of 430 said that she had a friend that had blood issues, went to have a check. So it does happen.
Oh,
God
totally.
bless her. I hope your friend's okay and the baby's okay. But I'm just saying, Melissa's on the channel 4 months. That is insane.
Well, I'm just imagining like someone being pregnant and being that far along in a pregnancy too. Like you're entering the second trimester, and then like being in such a physical competition where you're like, well, now we're gonna throw you into like have somebody
swinging
wrestle,
off
wrestling off like a truck into some nets, like in the air while it's moving. I'm just sitting there like, okay. There was a girl on my swim team in high school who found out that she was pregnant. And she wasn't even allowed to dive off the diving blocks. And I feel like that is so tame in comparison to the challenge. So that's what's shocking.
I couldn't even turn around quickly when I was pregnant with my son. Like I couldn't even do anything fast because of vomiting for 8 months and 28 days. Allison threw the fuck out every day, exorcist, crazy. And I think my son's father even looked at me one time and said, you kind of look like the exorcist, like Linda Blair.
Has that stuck with you, Allison?
It has. That's another show. So anyway, Natalie had to go. Look, I need a whole therapy session.
I know.
That.
I'm like cracking up here.
Therapy session, bi-weekly meltdown.
Yeah, therapy session. Well, anyway, so with Natalie gone, TJ triggers a security breach, immediately goes to commercial break, and I have a nervous breakdown over this shit because Natalie's gone. We've got a security breach. Finley's in my lap. I'm like, what is happening? So it turns out that Ashley comes back and is now Corey's partner, and TJ was quick to point out that that is because Ashley is the one. No. Yeah,
Natalie is the one who sent
Ashley home. Thank you. And so that is why. And I'm okay with that. Does anyone have an issue with that?
No, I think that's okay.
Okay.
No, as a newer viewer, I'm kind of here for it because I only heard a lot about Ashley / what you guys called her, Trashly. And I'm excited to kind of see a little bit more of her. I thought that she seemed like she had a good reality show like presence, and I think she kind of proved that in some of her confessionals tonight too.
I mean,
yeah, she's good TV, and like even during like
Ashley is the woman who fucked over her partner because he slut shamed her in the season and took $1 million away from him.
I love that.
Rightfully so. That's
and they I've been watching some old challenge, and it's like as she made that decision on I think Final Reckoning, I think was the season. You know, she said her partner Hunter slut shamed her and all of this. And then they showed the clips of him doing it. And she said, I'm taking the $1 million and he can have nothing. And she's a character.
Flipped out. And they were on the next season together.
Oh, yeah, Rivals.
Oh, Rivals.
Or
and
one of those rival versions.
But here's the thing. They go and do this agent down competition where the girls are hanging from a cliff with they're hanging. Okay, you've seen the show, you know what exactly is going on. Okay, and the guys got to pull the rope till it's blue, and then they got to go grab them, and whoever holds on the longest is the longest time, and they do it in 2 heats. Depths are I'm throwing it. And what's his name? CT. And okay, so Teresa, God damn it, I'm all over the place tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. This is fucking ridiculous. This is so unprofessional. Jay and Teresa win the first heat. Yeah. Everyone got that? Are we together?
Very impressive. Jay like really I always feel like he's like not good at these challenges, but he constantly like proves himself as like a good competitor in this game. So
people sleep. I think people sleep on how good Jay actually is.
Definitely.
I can't sleep on Jay because he needs a haircut. And I know I say it every week because when he's in his confessionals with his hat on and I can't see that hair, I'm like, he's a good looking young man. But I'm sorry, y'all are getting sick of me talking about it. I don't care. He needs a haircut. That's it. So CT and Big T win the second heat, and they end up winning the whole thing because they held on the longest. Big shocker, Big CT and Little Big T. Wait, no, you can't. He's too bony. That too. He needs to eat something. He does need to eat.
Yeah. And of course, they also like really pointed out here that like Fessy couldn't hold on to his partner for long too. I feel like we hear from like everybody like, oh, Fessy's not as good as everybody thinks he is. And I'm like, well, clearly everybody doesn't think that because everybody keeps talking about how he's really not that strong. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's Fessy's, you don't piss where you sleep and eat and all that. And he did that. Y'all ever heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And
Can you further explain that though? I don't quite get it.
You don't piss where you sleep.
What does that mean?
It means you don't fuck over your friends and you don't date somebody from work. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know that. I know that lesson.
Yeah, I think everyone in here may know that lesson. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. They win. Let's not forget, once again, we touched on this last week, Beth and Matt, more in depth with CJ, the fake parties. We call them the fake bar parties. They go across the sidewalk into a dome and it's a bar set up just for them, and we call it the fake bar party. Everyone's kissing Big T's out. I thought she looked beautiful. It was her coming out party.
Yeah.
And she was doing great, and she was beautiful. And then Tori's got to open her damn mouth and start talking to Amber M. The Amber M is the little Amber.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
little Amber. Amber.
They
literally call her Little Amber. They call her
Lambler?
Little Amber. They call her Little Amber.
Oh, I must have missed that.
But
Allison, welcome to my weekly meltdown.
This show is a mess.
It's Tyler's fault because he didn't open the show the right damn way, and I'm holding him responsible.
That's fine. I totally take that because that's the one time I had fun instead of like sticking to structure. So it's my own fault.
Lambler?
No, Little Amber.
Here, we'll enunciate. Little
Lambler?
Amber. Little
you were putting it together.
Amber.
Little Amber.
We'll break it up for you.
Little
Amber.
Little Amber.
Oh my god, I can't breathe.
Talking to Tori.
I mean, to be fair, I did like trip over my words the first time, but then you just didn't.
You are talking to someone who can't say the state Massachusetts. Okay, I can't say Massachusetts. Do you understand me?
Can you spell it?
Massachusetts. I cannot say Massachusetts.
So you say
Massa.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Sits. Massachusetts.
There we go. That's close enough. I'm happy for it.
Okay, Allison learned how to speak. It's like speak and spell. So Tori and Ambler are talking at the fake bar party about, you'll say my name and you don't do anything, and I don't know, you're judging Ambler's going, you judge everybody on size. I'm not doing it on purpose. Amber is saying you're not taking things serious.
No, Allison. Her name is Ambler from now on. She's no longer Amber. She's Ambler.
You're not taking me serious because of my size, and I hate.
Please put Ambler in the brain steel.
Yeah.
Let's take a picture. And so, here's the thing: when they're doing the meeting, Tori is sitting there telling now I'm calling her Tori. So Tori is okay, so they have the house meeting where they gotta fucking vote for somebody. I need Xanax to get through this show.
My jaw hurts.
I'm
sweating. Go ahead.
My ass crack is sweaty. Listen, so they're all sitting there in the house meeting, and they're trying to figure out who they're going to vote for, and Tori and Ambler keep going at it. And Tori has nothing to do with your size. You have to have you got to have respect thrown on your name, and you have to earn your stripes, and blah blah blah. And I can't, you got to get a skull and all that shit. But then again, she sits there and votes for her. What's happening now? Okay, well, I'll take over. So she sits there and votes for Ambler to go in, and she says, "Oh, I know I'm going to get my skull and go against her." Well, why are you saying that? Because it's her size. Because she's so small. This is very awkward. I feel like I'm doing the show like I used to do by myself, but I can't jump up and do shitty editing. Okay. So
Tyler's literally gone.
I don't know what's happening right now.
I think Tyler is dead.
Tyler needed a minute. He has the giggles.
Well,
we don't know how much he smoked before the show. You're muted, Tyler.
No, I'm totally sober. I'm just this is so funny.
But okay, so I'm just going to continue, and then I'm just going to continue, and then we'll talk about it. Just let me get through this, and we'll be fine. So the agents, the House votes for Anissa and Leroy. They honored the Queen. And the agents vote for Tori and Devine. So
Can I say something about the vote?
What about the vote?
Leroy, when he votes for himself and Anissa, and he calls it a burn vote.
Yeah, he's
But you have to know by that point that you and Anissa or Tori and Devin are the name. So how is that like a burn vote?
Well, it's kind of a burn vote for him because he's not going to go in. Either way, he's like, my partner's going to be going. You know, that's kind of how I saw it.
Okay. It's like when he said, because I've been watching previous seasons and burn votes can sometimes blow up in your face.
Oh, they definitely can. You know, I didn't know you could blow a burn vote on yourself. It's been forever since I've seen that, and I'm sure somebody's going to correct me on that.
So for someone who's new, can you explain what a burn vote is?
A burn, you're just throwing the vote. You don't want to take responsibility for your vote. Like, you don't, because they're going to see the votes, and you don't want to be involved. You don't want to play the game. I don't want to
basically like let's say I know you're going in, Beth, because Tyler and Allison are voting for you.
Yes.
I'm going to vote for myself so that you can be mad at those two and not me because I didn't vote for you.
Okay. That sounds good. I just didn't know if this was like a challenge term or if it's just kind of generally what you see in these kind of games where you're just kind of burning your vote over here or something. So it seems
it's
like
a weak move though. Like, and like, I'm glad that like Survivor and Big Brother like doesn't allow this. Like, you cannot vote for yourself in a situation because you just like I feel like it's like an abstain instead of like showing your loyalty, right? I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, either way, he went in. You know, it was Leroy and Anissa, and Anissa.
It's going to be that kind of night, Allison.
Anissa and Leroy go against Tori and Devin. And Anissa and Tori are going in and they are playing Asset Destination or Destruction. I can't remember what it was called, so I just put Asset Destination / Destruction. I'm not drunk. I don't drink. I've been sober for 3.5 years. You wouldn't know that right now. They have to throw bombs at each other. 13 balls have to go through. They have to pull this steel cart with all these. I assume the balls are heavy too.
I think they're like medicine balls.
They're heavy balls. And they pull the heavy balls, and Anissa gets the balls down, and she immediately starts throwing. Tori has a bunch of issues. Like I said, I don't know why she can't handle heavy balls. The bitch was engaged to Jordan. Them some big balls. What's happening here? So she ends up having to push it back and pull it again to get the balls. So Anissa ends up winning and steals back Fessy. And KC takes back Leroy, which leaves Devin a rogue agent. And I'm all for again. And I am all for a spinoff show called Devin Rogue Agent, because there seems to be a second show within this show, like I said earlier, called Devin Rogue Agent, and that's it. I'm done. I apparently cannot speak tonight.
Do you guys think that
Anessa, Tori, and Amblar have been up to?
Anessa, Tori, do you want to hear something funny? There was a guy named Tori on X on the Beach, the same season that Tori was on there. So now I'm all messed up. I'm just going to rename everybody. That's okay. But you know I'm talking. You know what? I can rename people, and y'all still know who I'm talking about. So who's what?
Was that a real question?
I don't know.
I was like, is that a question or just like a statement?
How's life? How's everyone doing this week? Is everyone having a good week? It's Wednesday. Finley threw up like the Exorcist on my bathroom counter yesterday. It was fantastic. It was a great day yesterday.
How do you think that Casey is in a better spot now that she's not with Fessy?
Yes, I think.
Here's a hot take that someone might disagree with. I think both Fessy and Casey are in better spots being broken up. I think Fessy being repaired with Anissa means, unless you really want to take the skull from Fessy, you're not going to vote in Fessy and Anissa because they both have gold skulls.
That makes sense.
I also think
Casey and Leroy are a better pair because they get each other.
Yes.
I also think that with the Big Brother alliance, it doesn't make sense to have them paired up together, but to be with other pairs. So it made no sense for Fessy to choose Casey in the first place. And you could tell that Casey clearly thought it was a stupid idea. And that is really saying something because Casey's not the most strategic person in the world. So if she can even see that, then that tells you how poor of a move it is.
And I actually really liked how Casey was like, guys, like, we just need to chill. Like, she, like, really, like, ringed all of them in again after, like, Josh is doing this. Fessy's making himself a big target. Like, if I'm Casey, I'm just like, why the heck are these people just imploding when, like, we have a really strong built-in alliance here? Like, let's just come together. Let's just relax. Drop the pots and pans, Josh. It'll be okay.
The proverbial pots and pans.
I swear, like, every time I see Josh now, I think of Candy from RuPaul's Drag Race this season.
Well, speaking of RuPaul's Drag Race, Rory the Virgo says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the wonderful pageant queen of the South, Anessa Ambler-Tori."
Is that Allison's drag name?
That's my new drag name, Anessa Ambler-Tori.
That's her pageant queen persona name, but if she's just performing in the clubs, it's kitty litter. So,
yes, when I'm in and I'm actually digging in kitty litter, I'm taking a big shit like I am on this show. I need some kitty litter right now.
You joke, but queens be doing that kind of shit. So
instead of throwing glitter and stuff at my crowd, I'm going to do clumping, hard clumping,
pretty litter. The pretty litter.
Febreze scented, tidy cat litter.
Salt Bay the litter onto the audience.
That's right. Or just here, take it. He is, isn't he? Did y'all notice my decor?
I was going to mention it, yes. I'm so happy that
Who is this? Who is this behind me?
I think it's America's Favorite House Guest from
It's Finley. He watched me hang these in this chair and was so proud.
Did he help at all?
No, actually pissed me off.
Yeah.
So, next week's a guys' week.
No, I think next week's another girls' week.
Do you think it's another girls' week?
Because there are 4 gold girls' skulls left and 2 gold guys' skulls left, because I think there's 5, and 3 of the guys are taken.
Oh, because
between Kyle, Devin, and Fessy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do back-to-back girls' weeks.
I think so too.
Back in play. That's why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having like all kinds of brain farts.
Who do we think goes in next week? If like, do we? I guess like the question now is like, are the rookies in a good spot now to take over the entire game? Now that like Tori and Anissa are like disassembled, I'm very curious where Teresa goes. I saw that she voted for Tori tonight, and that surprised me because I thought that she was like a third, like with Anissa and Tori.
But she also claims that she has a really good relationship with the new girls as well. So she's not one of the vets that's being condescending to them.
Yeah.
Well,
so
they sure were condescending tonight.
I also think Teresa is very good at, now that everyone knows that the double agents see all of this, I think if, depending upon who wins, Teresa will kind of tweak her vote to fit who's getting that information.
I see.
So it's all about what she told Big T. Yeah.
Like Big T and CT weren't running on saying, I know you did this, I knew you did this, I know you did this.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm very curious, like where Teresa will go next week. Probably with the newbies, but to me, like this is where like the newbies take over, and it's refreshing to see a season of the challenge where the newbies are playing smarter, playing better than these veterans. That like Tori was literally saying to everybody, "You have to earn your stripe to get respect," and I just thought that was so cocky and so rude. So I didn't like it, and I'm glad that like the rookies had the wherewithal to be like, no, we're putting you in your place, we're voting you in.
But see, here's the thing. The only way you make the final is by going in,
sure,
and winning a skull. Mm-hmm. And these girls, I don't know how they're going to get one, because they're going to be people who don't get one.
Yeah,
and they're just shit out of luck.
Sure. I mean, like Anissa did say, like you guys are all going to have to go against each other eventually to
and I don't think it's sunk into this like new girls alliance that odds are the person you're going to have the best chance at beating is someone in this room. because they have the same experience level in challenges and eliminations as you do.
Yeah,
Because
and I
none
get
of them were wanting
it.
to go take on Tori. None of
Right.
them were wanting to go take on Anissa.
Mhm.
You know.
But there's that argument, but when you then say you keep calling them the little girls and
exactly.
add in their body
Yeah, I
type
mean,
and all that kind of stuff to it, that's where
the delivery is bad.
That's where the
yeah,
delivery.
I mean, the delivery by some of the veterans is terrible.
So tacky.
No question.
And here's the best part. They knew it too, because Tori literally goes, "Oh my God, we're playing so messy right now. Like, hey, why are we doing this?" And I'm like, I don't know. Tell me.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why right now. Because they're cocky and full of themselves. Okay, Anissa to me is not full of herself. I think she has her moments, but I love her to death. And I think I just love her. But Tori, on the other hand, I'm just over it. I don't give a shit. I think she came on here with an attitude. I think she's full of herself all the time because she definitely earned her stripes. I'm not taking that away from her. She was thrown in as a newbie and she earned that shit just like Cam did. But you're coming in this way, it's ridiculous. It gets old. Nobody cares anymore. I mean, it's gone. It is gone. Even freaking messy ass, what's her name? Who's the girl with the red hair and the feathers that's dating Polly?
Cara Maria.
Cara Maria. Even she knows when to take a seat for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, just calm down. You're not that great. Let me tell you something. I could win a hall brawl. And I think I could win a hall. What is this, Tyler?
What? Go ahead.
I could win a hall brawl. I think I could win a hall brawl. I was thinking about this because the preview for next week's show shows Lolo and Teresa.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe they might go against each other. But then I had this epiphany. What if I went in a hall brawl against Lolo? I would listen, I'm a little 4'11" person, okay? I would start running. This is how I think I would win. I would start running as fast as I could. And as soon as we got close, I would jump up in the air and she would feel like a baby was coming towards her. And her instinct would be to catch the baby. And then I'm going to just go over her. And I'm probably going to end up dragging my vagina across her face. I'm sorry. And kicking her out of the way and run into the bell.
I don't know, Allison. I think my money might be on Lolo.
Now, Allison, if you're taking on Ambler, because she is someone of equal stature to you, I think you could win a hall brawl. But Lolo is too big, height-wise, for you to jump over. I don't think you have the hops to get.
Honey, I can jump when I need to.
Also, there's a roof on that thing.
That's true.
Are you saying you can jump over Lolo Jones, an Olympic athlete who's huge strides and
was Lolo a hurdler too? What was Lolo's event?
I didn't think about that. But listen, no, what I'm saying is I can't jump higher than her because I'm a mind fucker. Because when we do it the second time, she's going to think I'm going to jump again and she's going to jump. And when she jumps, I'm going to go through those giraffe legs. Right before I'll probably not hit my head, drag my head on her vagina, and then I'm going to run to the bell. And there you go. Allison's won.
Yeah, she's a hurdler. You can go down all you want. She'll leap over you and she'll get to the end.
Wow.
That was a hot moment.
That's her Olympic event, literally, to jump over things. So,
anyway, Allison's going to take some vagina to the face and she's going to win.
Well, listen, Matthew just said you can go down on her. So there we go.
There you go.
Not my cup of tea. But if I got to do it, I got to do it. It's $1 million.
It will be. I mean, this is MTV. They will show
above and beyond it. Not above and beyond it. I may eat the hoo-ha if I need to.
The hoo-ha?
That's it. I can't speak tonight. I want to apologize for any first-time viewers. I already have a very hard to understand Southern accent, and now I really sound like an idiot. Because I can't pronounce names tonight. And I can't even say.
This was your notes for tonight.
Threw me off. It's had me so insecure about my notes.
Can I just say something though?
And then he opens the episode with you talking about it.
You're talking about is it? Yeah. Should we talk about things on people's faces? Tyler?
I have a big zit on my face. That is fair to point out. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get rid of it.
Stop picking at it.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Or pop it on the show. I'd love to see. Is it a squirt? Is it a squirt?
No. I already popped it. So
I love popping.
Did it squirt? Did it squirt and hit the mirror and make that noise? Those are the best.
No.
I watch Dr. Pimple Popper, save me. I also follow her on Instagram. Those are the best too. I eliminated everyone in this group.
Help me, Beth. Help me.
Is Beth frozen? Oh no.
Okay,
No.
wait. We have a question from one of our fans.
Back to
Who
the
do
show.
you see winning now? Allison, what do you think?
This show, or because I'm not winning this show.
The challenge.
The challenge. Okay.
The show is the challenge, Tyler.
This show is challenging. Beth just tapped out. She's like, I could be doing so many other things in my life.
I'm sorry. I got thinking about it and then I got distracted. There's this painting right above me that I started looking at. I'm just really out of it tonight. I'm really tired.
Everybody is.
You're out of
Listen,
it. You're totally fine.
I think the winner. See, it's okay. So I'm trying to answer this as on. If okay, Tyler, you go first.
Wait, I have a question before I take an answer. So you know how like with Survivor and Big Brother, there's like the edgic / you can kind of guess from an edit, that kind of thing. Is the challenge a similar way? We even noticed it a little bit on, and by a little bit, I know that it was a lot of it on RuPaul's Drag Race as well. But just wondering if.
I think so. I don't think it's as like calculated and like spreadsheet-y as like Survivor's like edgic community is, but I think that there's certainly.
I feel like it's episode to episode. Like it doesn't feel like there's like a huge, like continuous thread just because power shifts so much.
I think that's because of like the format of the game, though, with like everybody like changing partners all the time. So it's almost impossible to have like the winner like telling the story the whole time when like everybody's paths are just like interwoven.
And I don't feel like we've seen anyone have like overwhelming camera time.
I was going to say in the episodes that I've watched, because spoiler alert, there are 2 weeks I did not watch. I didn't watch last week and I didn't watch the second week. I feel like I see a lot of Anissa. And so I don't know if that's because they're building her up and she's going to have a big fall, or is she going to be someone that is one to look out for the end. So she's someone I am always seeing as a part of a conversation or at least a few confessionals every episode, versus like I don't see a lot of confessionals from quite a few of the girls. The other person who I think is in a relatively good position right now is Cam, and to Adrian's point in the chat, she said Cam and Leroy. Do you see Cam and Leroy making it to the end? Now that Leroy is back with Casey, he stands a much better chance, but I do think Cam stands a better chance of going farther than Leroy in this game. I think the girls, once they kind of weed out this like who's going against each other kind of thing, are going to end up having a stronger connection to, or like the core group of the rookie girls and the girls that are kind of in the middle, whereas like the Teresas, the Cams are going to be able to kind of capitalize on that. And I think you're going to see some of the rookie girls like I don't think Lolo's going to go that far. Like, I really don't. I feel like she's going to be one of the next couple out because she, now CT has really baited her to want to go into a battle match. And I feel like she's going to be overconfident and not get a skull.
I would also say, knowing Cam's elimination history and who she's beaten in past eliminations,
Killer Cam.
I would say her odds of making the final, because you have to go in and win, are better. Leroy does not have the best history in eliminations. He likes to avoid them, but you can't avoid them and make a final. And with 3 of the 5 skulls already claimed, that window is shrinking unless they have an opportunity to steal someone's skull. I didn't watch last season, so I don't know how the skulls.
I assumed that you could like you could vote out and put someone up for like a limit, well, whatever it is, like they have to compete if they have a skull, and then
I mean, like Jay had 2 skulls last season, but I wasn't sure how that was going to play out. He eventually was eliminated by someone else, but I mean,
that's right. What if you go in again? If someone you have a skull, you go against somebody who doesn't have a skull, and that person thinks they're going to take your skull by beating you, and you end up beating them. What happens? You get.
We have to not look at these skulls like a golden ticket. You know, like once you win, like you aren't like guaranteed the final. Like you still have to get there, and if you get yourself into another elimination, you still have to prove yourself. You still have to beat that person. It's basically just like the key before like the final boss of like a video game.
What happens if one guy ends up with all 5 skulls? Because
then
people
wins, right?
Well, I think that I obviously I don't know too much about the show, but I feel like that will be explained as it goes along. And one of the things that I thought was funny was that I sat here and I did think of it as kind of a golden ticket. And I was like, why aren't people just volunteering to go in? Because if you don't win one, then you weren't going to make it to the final anyways. Just might as well get the F out of there unless you want more camera time. But now I realize it's because you can be challenged to go back in there again. And so if someone were to beat that person who has a skull, like I assume they take that skull, they don't just take 2. They don't get 1 for winning and the skull that just got 1 off that person. Or you win 1 and you have to go back there and you win again. Do you get 2 skulls like what happened last season, apparently? So I think that we'll find out. I have a hard time believing that's not going to happen sometime this season. I have a feeling we're going to definitely see people who have gotten skulls go back in. I definitely think Fessy is probably going to get thrown in there again. I can see Devin being thrown in there again. I can see Anissa getting thrown in there again. So it'll be interesting.
I think Anissa is not going to get targeted. And here's why. Because she's not between her and Tori, she was not viewed as the condescending one. She was not viewed as like the asshole.
Right.
She was kind of the person.
But she's with Fessy now, so it depends on what the elimination is. Like if they want to go after Fessy and they find out, oh, it's another women's elimination, like she might get screwed by proxy.
That's true. I can see that.
I think some of these girls will avoid putting Fessy and Anissa in, because I don't think some of them want to go against Anissa. That's why they sent her to go deal with Tori. Yep. And they would probably like her to go deal with like Lolo. But they don't want to have to deal with her.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to deal with somebody because you got to get a skull.
I also think that Darrell, to answer the question, I think Darrell is always somebody to look at as like a threat, somebody to win the game. One of the most winningest challenge competitors ever. So, and he's like very under the radar. You know, he's not like causing like a lot of attention to himself like Wes did. I think that he is like strong and silent right now, like really under the radar. And I think that's where he needs to be.
I also don't think you can ever. I don't think you can ever rule out CT.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Now that he has a social female to kind of have her play a lot of the politics, so he's not carrying all of the political weight.
Yeah,
that comes with being.
Can I ask you all a question about Big T? I got thinking about this tonight. Now, I really like Big T. I think that she's a fun character. I loved watching her kind of go on a power trip tonight, but I also kind of got worried, like. Now that she's gotten her target out, and while I do believe some of it she was acting up, I really do think that there was a lot of that was genuine, of like, cater to me now and those kind of things. Do you think that's going to end up being her downfall in this game? And is it something that CT is going to recognize and then have to cut her rather than like to save himself?
I think CT would cut her if he needed to. I think that he is really seeing himself as a free agent this season. He's like really done a good job like distancing himself from Anissa in particular, who they have like so many seasons of history together, right? So I think like whatever benefits CT will do, and only
at the same time, CT's history shows that there are partners. Like you're locked in.
Sure.
In this case, you're not really locked in with your partner, but you're locked in as long as you're together. Yeah. He's never given the instinct of I will fuck over a partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, Allison?
Is the big T thing. I don't think that. I think that from her seasons past, she's a real sweet and she's real smart. And I think she was just playing tonight. I don't think this will be something that'll come and bite her in the ass. I mean, if it was somebody else doing it, maybe, but everybody was having fun with it. And she, of course, after who she threw in, I don't think that is going to come back and bite her in the ass like it might CT, because CT's an OG along with Anissa and Tori. So that could be more on him, because he was like, but he also made sure to never fully agree with, yes, I'm on board with you. I agree with you. It was always I'm going to let you take the lead. I'm going to let you go do the
politics. I mean, even when he says his vote, he says, I'm going to support my partner.
I'm supporting my partner. He never took the heat for it. So it could be a game of musical words, chairs, or whatever, what have you. It just depends. But I don't think that she's arrogant or cocky or anything.
No.
By any means. I just think that, I just think it was fun. I would have been the same damn way. Oh my God, I would have had them carrying me to the fake bar party.
And that's not so much what I'm talking about. I think that was definitely played up, but you could see at the very end when she was like, the plan worked and I was fine and blah, 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 like that kind of thing. And it's like, there's the confidence that you have when you give that anyway, but there's a little bit more egotistical vibes I got out of that. And
yeah, that's the thing is like after you make the move, like you have to know like to like scale it back after that.
That's what I'm worried about.
That attention on you. Like Fessy is a good example of that this season, where he didn't course correct after he made the move.
I think if it comes out in the episode, like in the conversations in the house parts of episodes, instead of just her confessionals, where she's like, plan worked, done, dusted, everything's great, then I would be concerned for her. But if she's just saying that in confessionals outside of like the playtime of, I'm the queen, I'm the queen, I'm the queen, for that like moment, she should be fine.
And I totally agree with that. And I think because like you should be using your confessionals to say the things that you can't say to anybody in the game and to express yourself. First of all, that's just what makes you a really great reality personality. Yeah. But secondly, the only thing that I'm noticing is that I can't remember who it was. I feel like it was someone that she was aligned with. So it was like no harm, no foul. But there was somebody who clocked her on that says, I really think that some of this isn't so much an act. I really think that she's really feeling this way. And so if other people lay into that and feel that as well, that could be a problem for Big T. So you take someone out because they're being cocky, because they're condescending, all those different kinds of things, and you are inadvertently giving off that vibe to people, even if that's not how some people are seeing you, but it only takes one influential person to see you in that light, and you ride your train to the end. So that's the only thing that I'm nervous about with her, but I really like her as a personality, and I really like this group of rookie girls that she's part of. So it's really cute.
I like that they have the balls to like make the move. Like it's one thing to like talk about it, but it's another thing to like follow through with it, right? And like really put these veterans in their place and say like like we can still do some good stuff in this game too.
To me, it just doesn't feel like you're putting anyone in your place. Like, yes, you're knocking one veteran out, but you're giving the other veteran a ticket to the final, and those tickets are limited.
Well, listen, you can back me up on this, Matthew, and maybe you, Tyler, I don't know. But this doesn't usually happen with rookies.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make, is like it's refreshing to see. And I wish this like this female energy was here like maybe like 10 years ago on the challenge. So I'm all for it, and I hope it continues.
Right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, unless you guys want me to mispronounce anything else. I mean, the night's still young.
I think,
can you pronounce every name of every cast member?
We'll be here all night. There's 95 of them.
So the challenge is going to be on until October. There's time. Listen, I don't know.
Tomorrow we are going to be finishing up our rewatch of Survivor Heroes versus Villains. I just watched the finale last night. I'm really excited to talk about Sandra's historic 2-time win in Survivor history.
Oh my God, I was going to watch it tonight. You ruined it for me.
I think the spoiler alert is done after like 10 years or so.
I also seen it.
Are you with me or against me?
I'm against you, Amber.
I'm against you, Allison.
I'm against you, Tori.
I'm against you, Anessa Ambler Tori. That's my name.
So we'll be back tomorrow to talk about all that, and then next week we'll be back for the challenge once again. Hopefully, we have our shit together a little bit better next week. But I feel like we all just had like the giggles tonight, and it's been a hell of a week for all of us.
It's been crazy. Yes, please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown on YouTube. You'll get notifications for when we go live. We're also on Apple Tunes,
Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have your Patreon.
And we are, yes, thank you. Patreon.com/myweeklymeltdown. Yes, if we get 25 patrons, Tyler's going to dress up like Meghan McCain.
Yes.
And I cannot.
Now, I have a question.
And we are currently at 19, so we're only 6 away.
I checked on that. So is this Tyler, like, as Meghan McCain, going to be, like, for an episode of something, and he has to be Meghan McCain for a whole entire episode?
I think we would do some version of, like, the Snatch game for all of us, and that would be mine is Meghan McCain. Since
right, but I mean, like, I'm trying to get the incentive out there so we can get some more patrons.
Listen, Patreon, it's going to be a patron show. You're going to have to sign up to see it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Himself out.
We'll figure it out.
Listen, Anna, can I be serious for a minute?
Yes.
Listen, I want to give out a phone number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It is 1-800-273-8255. If you are feeling some type of way and you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, help is available. Anonymous counselors. Yes, thank you. Please call this number. God loves you. He put you on this planet for a reason. He's not done with you yet. Please don't make any rash decisions. I lost a cousin last week because he lost his battle with mental illness. We're burying him tomorrow. So I cannot stress enough. Reach out to one of us or call 1-800-273-8255.
273?
1-800-273-8255.
Okay. So that's not the right number in the chat. Let me retire.
I probably said it wrong because that's the mantra tonight. I can't even help people save their own damn lives tonight.
Well, the motto is like, here My Weekly Meltdown, like we are family. So like, there's nothing that you can't reach out to us or this hotline if you need somebody to talk to. We are always here for you. So,
and also, but to also just be aware too that we are not professional counselors or mental health staff. So if you're in crisis, we highly encourage you to reach out to that number or other resources in your area. Know that you serve a purpose, that you are valid and deserve to be listened to. And that is a number that you can call to make sure that you are given the help that you need. There's no harm in calling for help. There is no embarrassment in calling for help. I know there's a stigma sometimes. We're gradually breaking that down, but just know on this channel, there's no stigma here.
Absolutely not.
We want you to be healthy. We want you to take care of your mental health as much as you would take care of your physical health, if not more, specifically nowadays. So please make sure that you're doing what's best for you. And now I'm looking at Anessa Ambler. Try.
Yes. And wait, Beth, what are you covering over on RHAP? ?
Well, I'm happy that you asked. So I am covering RuPaul's Drag Race season 13. We're going to be watching episode 13 or 3 of 13 this Friday, and we typically record on Sunday afternoons with a Sunday evening or Monday morning release. So if you would like to hear what I have to say with Liana Boris and Aman Adwin, feel free to follow me on Twitter at AugustumWin11, and I always post it there, or you can subscribe on any place that you listen to podcasts and get that going in your feed.
All right, before we mispronounce anything else. All right, everybody have a great rest of your night. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.